As the US and NATO continue their withdrawal from Afghanistan, many questions remain about the future of the country. Among those questions is the status of Kabul airport and Turkey's offer to protect and operate this key lifeline. To talk this and other issues, we're joined by Afghanistan's Foreign Minister, Hanif Atmar. This is One on One. The sustainability of any peace agreement with the Taliban will also depend on regional consensus. In your conversations with your counterparts in neighboring countries, do you get the feeling that that you're all on the same page?
I do. I believe that the region has come to agree that peace in Afghanistan is in their interest, in their vital interest, because in the absence of peace, the continuation of conflict and violence and the emergence of transnational terrorist networks in collaboration with transnational organized crimes will pose a serious threat to each and every country in the region. So peace is essentially in their interest, and I believe that understanding has been achieved. But what I am still thinking of that we need to do more of is to translate that understanding and consensus into concrete action. This is what is lacking, and we need to work together.
Turkey has offered to provide security for Kabul airport if certain conditions are met. How does the Afghan government feel about a more enhanced Turkish presence in Afghanistan, Turkish involvement in Afghanistan?
We welcome it and we will support it. We believe that this will be essential for continuation of Turkish and NATO, as well as the international community's support to Afghanistan. This is going to be important for the diplomatic community in Kabul, and it's also important for international assistance to Afghanistan.
Now, Turkey's talked about possibly bringing in Hungary and Pakistan to support its mission to secure Kabul airport. How would this be received in Afghanistan?
I believe that this issue has not been properly understood. Turkey is going to be the lead nation to do this. They may receive support from the rest of the NATO members, including Hungary. But the issue of Pakistan was raised in a different context, not in this specific way. We all know that the role of Pakistan is exceedingly important in the peace process, in the stabilization efforts. So Turkey is trying to seek support from Pakistan for the peace process and for ending the conflict in Afghanistan. While these are two different things, but I know they are both working towards the same goal.
Afghanistan is witnessing an unprecedented level of attacks that do not discriminate between military or civilian targets. Now, you've also served as Interior Minister of Afghanistan. How can Afghanistan cope with these challenges post-coalition withdrawal?
Well, in fact, no nation can cope with this level of devastating violence that has been imposed on us. It's the resilience, courage, and the patience of the Afghan people. But it is important for our international and particularly regional partners to understand that the Afghan people are actually fighting on behalf of the region and the international community to secure us against international terrorism. So it's important that the region redoubles its efforts, on one hand for peacemaking with the Taliban, on the other for counterterrorism against foreign and international terrorist groups.
Now, the Americans have said they will continue to provide military support. They would do this from neighboring countries or what they say over the horizon. Is this a feasible way of addressing the security challenges?
Well, we would welcome any support that the United States, NATO, Europe, and our regional partners, including Turkey, will offer. Again, with the understanding that Afghanistan's fight against terrorism is on behalf of the entire region and global community. Now, in terms of the type, volume, and the way in which this support will be offered will have to be discussed and agreed upon, especially in a post-withdrawal scenario.
Looking at the recent level of violence, the attacks, the targeted assassinations of civil society workers, journalists, academics, even students, do you believe that the Taliban are negotiating in good faith? Or does this indicate a split between the Taliban negotiators and the Taliban fighters on the ground?
They are not negotiating in good faith at all. They are not even true to their own understanding of the Islamic principles and teachings. Look, they've been saying that they fight because of the presence of international troops in Afghanistan. Now the international troops are leaving, and for months they have not been fighting them, but they are fighting their fellow Afghans, fellow Muslims. Where do they get justification from in terms of continuation of this conflict against innocent people? So I believe that number one, the Taliban must explain to themselves, to Afghans, and the whole Muslim world as to why they continue to fight and kill Muslims in their own country. And number two, they need to be faithful to their commitment under the Doha peace agreement, in which they committed themselves that they would cease violence and reach a political settlement with the people of Afghanistan once the international troops begin to leave Afghanistan.
Now, if they're not negotiating in good faith, as you said, how confident are you that they would adhere to the terms of any agreement reached with the Afghan government in Doha?
Well, the question for us, the region and the international communities, whether we can work together to compel the Taliban to negotiate, reach an agreement, and respect that agreement.
Dr. Hanif Atmar, thank you for your time.
Thank you.